delicious. Woo. What's going on? Isaac back with another video, but in a different format. As you can see, I'm in a different place. I have something different in front of my face. Things are just a little different. So let me explain. Currently, I'm TDY in the UK, Great Britain. For about 6 months. I'm about 3 months in right now. Oh my gosh, this thing's falling over. That would be embarrassing. Look like I don't know what I'm doing. Does it already look like that? Probably does. Just because I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah, I'm over here in the UK for like about 6 months. Got 3 months left. It's been fun, but since I'm in a hotel room in TLF for that time period, I thought it'd be cool to try this out, try a little podcast out, just to get some information out to you guys a little bit quicker. I guess this is just the way I thought it could definitely work and be kind of cool. Just kind of try it out. So, because with the sit down videos, they're definitely fun, but there's a lot of preparation that goes into that. In this format, I can actually just like kind of not ramble, but like be like, oh yeah, this, and I mean, I've obviously taken a bunch of notes, get ready for this, but I can hit a couple different topics in one video, a couple different topics, and most of these topics are going to come from questions that you guys ask. So if you have any questions at all, throw them in the comments, and I will get to them on a podcast, because this is the way I like to do things. I like to just talk, get things off my mind in this kind of format. And I've actually done a couple of these previous. I did one 2 days ago, did a couple last week, just kind of working out the kinks. There are a couple things. I used to have the computer in front of me in a couple of them, and the camera kept focusing on the computer. I'm hoping it's not like focusing on the mic or anything like that. That would really irritate me, because that would be like, come on, dude. Like, really? You're going to focus on the mic when there's a big white apparatus right here? I don't know what the definition of apparatus is. I should probably learn that before I start using words I don't know. But yeah, I'm just kind of working out the kinks for that. And the camera. Yeah, there's why? Like it's a Canon 80D. I don't know if any of you guys have that specific camera, but I've definitely seen the limitations of it. It only records for 29 minutes and 59 seconds, like continuously, which is kind of like, well, if I'm doing this, it's kind of tough. Kind of tough to do a full podcast sometimes in just about 30 minutes. Because the last podcast I did, I rambled for 30 minutes. I rambled for an hour. Forever. I was like, I didn't realize I could talk that much. And when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, I'm glad, the camera did cut off, because it was just like, what are you talking about, man? So I actually have a timer on my phone right now over here, timing myself, because I know it's going to cut off at a certain point. But I kind of want to keep it to under 30 minutes, because I feel like you guys are going to get bored just hearing me rant. So, but yeah, that's me. If you haven't been to my channel before, thank you guys for coming. Consider hitting that subscribe button, because I can get a lot of these videos out, way quicker, because it's just me talking. So, and I come up with the topics a couple days beforehand, just based off of the questions I've seen on my other videos, and the questions I've just been asked, and things that I think should be touched on. And hopefully that information can help you guys. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just get right into it, because I only have 25 minutes left. So the first topic I want to talk about today is going to be about, I guess, the mindset going into basic training, going into the military. I kind of figured this topic out, or I kind of generated it the other night when I was on YouTube. I don't remember what I was doing, but I kind of got down a wormhole, as we do when we're on social media, and YouTube and the internet, jumping from video to video, and I find myself getting on other military like YouTube channels, and I started watching ones that I've watched before, like before I got into the military, ones that I haven't, and some of them just like, I mean, I give everybody credit. Like, it's hard to put videos out, and some of them do it on a continuous basis, and they do a great job. And I have like, there's just no slander against them, but maybe it's just me, because it's not just of YouTube videos. It's me going, like when I used to go into the recruiter's office, I get real nervous, like watching these videos. Going into the recruiter's office, just get real nervous. And it wasn't like, I don't know, I'm nervous about something specific. It was just like, oh, like I felt like inferior maybe, and maybe that's just like a confidence issue I had. But I did the same thing, and I've been in the military for 2 years now, and I watched these videos, and I felt that same feeling. I was like, what the heck, dude? This is like give me anxiety just seeing these people. I'm just like, oh my god, like, because I feel like the people I'm around on a daily basis, like, yeah, we're definitely, full force military and stuff like that, but I've kind of figured out I don't know, I've kind of, I guess, gotten used to it a little bit, desensitized, and then seeing it in other branches and then in other like people's lives that I see on YouTube. I'm just like, I don't know, just kind of like brought back those nervous feelings and stuff like that. So I just want to talk about, like, if you are nervous going into a recruiter's office, if you are nervous going into basic, it just means you care, you want to do good. And so you shouldn't be afraid of being nervous. I mean, I think you should definitely, try your best not to be nervous. Be confident in yourself. I think you should always be confident. I think when you go into this, you should be confident and think, hey, I'm going to be a great asset to the Air Force, no matter what anybody says, no matter what my mom, my dad, my friends say that I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that or whatever. You just go into it thinking, hey, I'm going to be a great asset. I'm going to do my best in this endeavor, because this is the jumping point for my career. I heard somebody told me one time that the Air Force is a shortcut through life. And that sometimes that could be negative. That could sometimes sound negative, but it's really in a positive light, because it's basically saying, hey, I can go into this basically program that pays for my education, trains me, gives me the training that's second to none in the world, and I get to serve my country and get paid while doing it and get great benefits. That is a shortcut. That's I don't really like to call it a shortcut. I kind of like it kind of like a jump pad, like it's like a like a leapfrog to a better life. That's what I like to look at it as, because it helps you, especially if you're coming straight out of high school, man. That's crazy. Like, you get free education. So if you want to do education while you're in my opinion, you should. I suggest that. Try to get as many classes done of your education as you can while you're in. But you could always go to school after you get out. But it gives you education right out of high school, money right out of high school, a retirement plan right out of high school. 20 years, say you get it going when you're 18, 20 years, you're 38, you retire. You retire 20 years in the military. Crazy. Just tons of things that it's just like, it opens up. Because the thing about it is, I don't want to get too far into this, but the military is basically, if you want to go to college, I want to say it's the alternative, because there obviously are other options when you want to go to college if you're a civilian. But being in student loan debt it's a crisis in the United States today. It really is, because that's the one thing. If you declare bankruptcy, that's the one thing that still follows you. You say you have a home loan, and you can't pay it off. You have cars, you have car debt, you have credit card debt, you have all this other debt. If you declare bankruptcy, all that goes away, to my knowledge. I feel like I'm speaking on something that I have like little knowledge on, but to my knowledge. But I know this for a fact that student loans do, like, you declare bankruptcy, that stuff stays with you. It doesn't go away. That's like the one thing. And think about it, like, what? Are you kidding me? Because the thing, like, when kids come out of college and they're $200,000 in debt, they're not going to go buy a new car. They're not going to go buy a new house. Anything like that. So they're not putting money right back into the economy, which is crazy. The crazy that these universities are still charging so much money and they're allowed to do it. It's crazy. So the Air Force is such a big, big deal, man. It's such a benefit. So with all that being said, don't be nervous. Come on. You got it. Be confident in yourself. Don't be nervous. Like I was nervous, but I mean, you're going to be nervous. But now I'm in the Air Force, not nervous at all. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm very confident in myself, in my job, and the people around me, and I'm having fun while doing it. I mean, over in the UK, yeah, I mean, you can't really beat it. So, anyways, let's go on to the next one. Next one is, I got this question not too long ago. Somebody asked me, when are you drug tested? That's kind of like I talked about this in that previous one that I didn't really, the previous podcast that I kind of worked the kinks out on. And I kind of rambled on it, but I'm just going to kind of get straight to the point. It's random. Drug tests are random in the military. And they should be. I mean, that's how it is. Because you're never going to know when they're going to get that piece of paper to you and be like, hey, you need to be at this building at this time. And you know what it's for. Every time it happens, you know what it's for. So, yeah, it's random. When you first get in, obviously MEPS, they're going to do it at MEPS before you actually get in, and they're going to do it at basic. They're going to do it at basic. They're going to do it at tech school. And then from there on out, it's random, man. For me, I think I've had one, just including MEPS, 1, 2, I'm trying to think, 3, 4, 5 or 6 in the last 2 years. But I mean, I think about, like, I'm thinking back in 2 years, 6 times. It's not a lot, but it's more than any other job I've had. But I know people that have had it done to them like 4 times in about 2 months. So it's all random. It could happen at any time. So, when you get into the military, this is serious, man. Serious business. So you need to be, clean. So, yeah, I don't. That's was kind of like a open and shut question. It's all random. So once you get in, you're in, and you should be all in. So going on to the next thing. Next one, I gave myself a little bit more time with. I got like 16 more minutes. I'm definitely going to have some closing remarks with you guys. But the next one, I think, is a huge one. It's a big one because I've seen a lot of people get devastated once they got into the military by this alone. And it's money. Money. Money's a big thing. Money is, in my mind, it doesn't drive the world. But let's be honest, it does. Money drives the world. Other than other things that drive the world, like what drives the world, I guess. What pulls Earth around? Okay, I guess the gravitation. It revolves around the sun, so it's the gravitational pull of the sun. Maybe. You think I would know this by now? I think it's that. I've never really stopped and thought about it. Anyways, money. I'm talking about this planet. We're not out in outer space right now. Even though we might be soon. Space Force. It's a real deal. Every time I think about the Space Force, I think about Spaceballs, the movie. The Mel Brooks movie. I might be. Some of you guys might be too young to have seen that. That's an amazing movie, dude. It's amazing. You need to watch that. Mel Brooks, Spaceballs. It's hilarious. That was back when like Honey I Shrunk the Kids came out, and what's that guy's name that was in that movie? I did this last time, man. I was thinking about an actor, and I had to look it up, and that's why I had my Mac right in front of me. But the camera was focusing on the Mac, and it was irritating me. So hopefully it's focused on my beautiful white face. You see the lights back there? The lights are nice, right? I was getting a little festive. My wife was coming out. Got to put the lights up. It's actually pretty bad. If you saw the whole room, it was pretty bad. And the funny thing about it was I FaceTime my wife, just me like talking away. She's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Why are there lights up behind you? Did you decorate?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh," because I wanted to surprise her, and I'm so terrible at surprising. She'll tell you I'm terrible, just terrible. I want to surprise her, then I'll tell her about something I want to do for her, and she's like, "Why didn't you just surprise me with that?" I'm like, "God." Like I get so mad. I'm like, "What the heck, dude? Like why can't I just I have surprising things, but I'm like, oh, I want to tell her." I'm like, "Yeah, do that." Whatever. Anyways, yeah, I'm a little festive. As festive can get living in this room for 6 months. So, anyways, I got off a little tangent there. Let's get back on it. Yeah, money. So I'm just going to lay it out a little basic for you. So when you're in the military, you get, your pay kind of varies sometimes, especially like when I'm over here, my pay varies a little bit, but when you're at home station, everything, you're going to get your base pay, which is what you get paid for doing your job. And that's probably going to be the majority of your pay. And then you're going to get basic, if you're married or you're not living on base, you're going to get basic allowance for housing. So basically they're going to pay you a certain amount for wherever you're living, for your house, for your utilities, all that kind of stuff. So they're going to pay you like, it's based off your zip code of where you're actually at. So let's say you're living in, Los Angeles, you're going to get paid more than somebody living back in like Mississippi, because obviously in Los Angeles, the cost of living is higher. So if you're living in Los Angeles, you're going to pay, let's say, $3,000 a month for basic allowance for housing. And say if you get an apartment for $1,500 a month, well, you're going to pocket $1,500. So good for you. That's how it is. How it works. You don't go get an apartment and they're like, "Oh, how much do you pay for your apartment?" This amount. They're like, "Okay, we're going to give you this amount." No, they give you a flat rate, and you can do what you want with it. Live in a tent if as long as you're getting to work on time. They don't really care. So that's what you get with the housing stuff's for. But then you're going to get BAS, which is basic allowance for subsistence. I always thought it was subsistence. I don't know if that's a word, but that's what I thought it was for the longest time. I don't remember. I was in the military by the time I figured it out. Somebody told me. So it is subsistence. That is for your food. And that's for your food for everybody. You're pretty much gonna get the same amount if you're married, if you have kids, whatever. If you're single, you're pretty much gonna get the same amount, unless you're gonna like eating at the DFAC, the dining facility. You're not gonna get that. Like if you're living in the dorms, you're not gonna get basic allowance for housing. You're gonna get basic allowance for subsistence. And you do, if you're an airman, get into the dorms. Like if you're at your first base, you're gonna live in the dorms for, on average, 2 years. On average, there are some times like in Mountain Home, when I was there about a year ago, they were asking people who wanted to move out. If they had been there for like a year, they were able to move out because they were kind of they didn't have enough rooms for all the new airmen coming in, so they were trying to get the other people out to go like live off base. So sometimes you can move out early, sometimes you stay longer. It's just on average it's about 2 years, so you're going to be living in the dorms for 2 years once you get your 2-year base, unless you're married. Like for me, when I got to my first base, I was married, so we were able to just move off base, do whatever we wanted, and they gave me basic allowance for housing and subsistence and all that stuff. But yeah, that's going to be all your pay. basically. But for, like I said, it's going to change. So like if you're deployed, your TDY like I am, you're going to get different pay. So like if you're in a combat area, you're probably going to get some hazard pay, those kind of things, some kind of deployment pay. But like TDY over here, I get per diem, which is basically just per day I get a certain amount for food, things like that, which is nice because when you're away from home, the extra money doesn't fix like you not being with your family or being around back in the States, but it definitely helps a little bit. But per diem's just for your meals and stuff like that, so you get paid a little bit extra. But anyways, that's basically all you're going to be getting paid. But something I kind of want to like stress a little bit to you guys just thinking about getting into the military. If you haven't, like, if you're 18 and you haven't really had a lot of experience like managing money, there are tons of programs that you can get into with with the Air Force. The Air Force has an Airman Family Readiness Center that will help you guys out. They will help you a ton with that kind of stuff. I'm hoping this mic's on. It is. Okay, sorry. But they will help you create a budget. If you want to buy a car, they will help you buy a car. They will help you, get a house. The housing office you can go to and help you get a house, get interest rates on a lot of stuff. If you come into the military with existing interest rates and things that are crazy high, they will be able to get that loan or whatever you have down to a reasonable interest rate and stuff like that. So they're there to help you. There's tons of programs there to help you with your money and everything. Because I've just in my short time in the military, I've seen some crazy stuff, man. Some crazy stuff with people getting like 18-20% interest on car loans, just right out of the gate, just right in tech school. Because once you're in basic training, right? You're getting paid, and you're getting paid, but you don't have to pay for anything while you're in basic because they're feeding you, they're housing you. All this money just going into your bank, and you don't have to spend a dime. And for me, I did because I had a wife at home and everything like that. But for some of the, and I went a little later in my life, so I kind of had a little bit more experience with money management. But some of these kids are 18, so once they get through basic and they get to tech school and they check their bank account and they have a couple grand in their bank account, they've never had a couple grand in their life, man, and they just want to spend it. They want to buy a PS4, they want to buy an Xbox, they want to buy a car, they want to buy this dude a car, they want to buy their mom a car. It's just crazy, and they kind of go a little crazy. And I've seen it in tech school. These kids come with these crazy interest rates on cars, and it's just ridiculous. So you need to watch out, and especially when a lot of the dealerships right off base kind of prey on these new airmen. They know they're new people with new money, and they prey on them because these kids don't know what the difference is between a 20% interest rate and an 8% interest rate, versus 72 months versus 48 months term on your loan. They don't know, so they kind of get taken advantage of, and I've seen it really bad. So just be smart. If you have people at home that are older, they're more experienced, before you make any big purchases, once you get to tech school, talk to them. Go talk to Airman Family Readiness Center. Talk to an MTL, which is a military training leader at tech school. Talk to them. They'll help you out if you want to make a big purchase, like get a car or something like that. Which is, sometimes it's necessary, especially when you get to your first base. Especially in Mountain Home, man. The base is a good amount of, it's 70 miles from the, Boise, which is a good, decent city. Mountain Home's kind of a small town. And from Mountain Home, the base is like a good 15-20 miles, I would say. So it's kind of out there. So you definitely need you don't need a car, but if you want to go out and do stuff, you're gonna want to get a car. So that's a big purchase. And the Airman Family Readiness Center, A lot of people will help you in the Air Force make those decisions, especially with your money and with the retirement and everything. So if you're getting into the military now, you're going to be put straight into the blended retirement plan, which will have the thrift savings plan and all that stuff. And that's what I'm in. I opted in for that because I had the choice of doing the old school retirement plan or the new one, and I did the new one. And basically, you can put money into your TSP, and the government will match up to 5%, which is really good. I started doing it immediately after I got to my first base. I started doing that, and they've been matching money. I think I put 5% every paycheck, and they match it. So, it's never been really anything to me because that money never came into my account. It was just taken out immediately. So that money just be get put away for me for my retirement, which is really cool. And you can roll it over into a private company's 401k after you get out, which is dope. So definitely look into that once you do it. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on those 3 topics. If you have any questions about those topics, let me know, because I'll definitely going to, on my next podcast, I'm going to go over them a little bit more. Like if you guys had questions and it's things that I might have missed, I'll definitely go over them again a little bit. Sorry, I mean, I might be looking a little weird. I'm trying to get used to, I don't know if I should go forward or backwards with this thing. I'm trying to get used to it a little bit. Hopefully I did better than my last ones. I'm trying not to say because I'm notorious, especially if I'm not talking to somebody back and forth. If I'm just straight up just talking and talking and talking, I tend to say and then or not but I'll pause and say during my sentences. So I'm trying not to do that. But yeah, if you guys have questions, throw them down below. I'll get to them about anything Air Force related or non-Air Force related. But if you have any questions on these specific ones, I'll touch them at the beginning of the next podcast to kind of go over what I talked about, and then what questions you guys did have. Just kind of hit them real quick before I go into my next couple topics that I really want to talk about. But I got 2 more minutes here with you guys. So yeah, I'm really I like this method better. Talking like this and just kind of freeballing it a little bit about these different topics that I have. I kind of have I looked at I kind of wrote some stuff down, and I got my 3 bullets, and then I got early anecdotes, so stuff I could talk about at the beginning, and then funny anecdotes, and then once you actually get on, you're just you start saying them, and you're just that's not that as funny as I thought in my head. And I think that's we do that a lot. At least I do that a lot, man. I'll say some stuff and I'll just be laughing just to myself. And my wife will tell you, I'll say a joke, and before she has time to laugh, I'm cracking up myself. And I feel like I would be funnier if I didn't just laugh at myself all the time. But I mean, I enjoy it, man. I make myself laugh. I enjoy that. Enjoy laughing at myself about anything I'm talking about. But anyways, I'm head and shoulders deep into Star Wars right now. I've never seen any of the movies, and I started watching Star Wars. And I just finished The Phantom Menace. And it's amazing, dude. It's amazing. So if you guys don't have Disney Plus or anything like that, go get Disney Plus, watch Star Wars. I'm sure everybody in the world has seen it except for me, but I'm trying to get through it. I'm trying to watch it, and it's really good. It's really good so far. I mean, it's not Breaking Bad or Peaky Blinders, but it's definitely a cult classic, so I'm watching it. But anyways, I got 15 seconds, so I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for next time, and leave any comments down below, and I'll get to them. I really appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys next time.